Hi, how are we all? I was just about to start this broadcast and I realised that I hadn't got my water bottle. So I went and got it. So I was very good. So make sure you've got yours. We have got dumbbell, a mixture of dumbbell and body weight, chest and triceps. Today we have got 3 supersets. We're going to do 3 rounds of the first one. Sorry, just getting my little dumbbells out. 3 rounds of the first 2 supersets and then 2 rounds of the second one, working within a rep range. So the first 2 exercises, we've got a floor press. You'll need 2 dumbbells for that. And then we've got a body weight exercise. So you'll need your mat as well. So let's get to it. So as always, you can start these exercises with lighter weights and then move to heavier ones as a way of easing yourself in, or you can go through the motions with just body weight and then see how you go. I think I'm in view. So for a floor press, coming down onto your mat, we're going to have dumbbells in hands and the elbows are going to come out and down to the floor, and then we're going to push it away. So we want those elbows to make a nice arrow shape with the body, like this. So thinking a V here, like an upside down V, not coming too wide and not coming too narrow. Again, nothing bad's going to happen if you're not in a V, but that is the muscle and the movement arm that I want us to focus on. So we're pushing up over the chest and down. So grabbing your dumbbells very carefully, rolling back onto your mat, just tucking the shoulder blades underneath the back, which will bring an arch in the lower back. That's absolutely fine. Get your elbows into the position you want, and we're going for anywhere between 8 and 12. Really control that lowering phase. Arms are just going to kiss the floor, so don't take the tension out of the dumbbells altogether by resting the arms. Nice big exhale as you push them away. This makes 10 for me. I'm going to go 2 more. Perfect. Roll yourself up. And then we have got a tricep exercise. I'm just going to move my dumbbells out of the way onto the sofa, just so they don't scratch the floor, which Freya does enough of. So we're going to go for the tricep lowers to the mat in a downward dog position. You're going to really feel it around the top edge of the abs and the obliques as well, because they're going to be working at end range. So starting in a plank and just pushing back to downward dog until there is a stretch in those hamstrings, and then you're going to lower the elbows towards you as far as they'll go, and then bring them up nice and straight. Take them down. So at the moment, mine don't touch the mat. That is where I'm at. You might be more bendy than me. And I'm just spending a couple of seconds at the bottom there. So elbows are coming in towards me like that, keeping them nice and narrow. They're quite challenging. Let's go for anywhere between 6 and 8. I'm going to do 6 more because I've already done a couple. So again, start off in a plank, push back to downward dog, lower the elbows down towards you, and then straighten them out. Spend a couple of seconds just at the bottom, wherever the bottom is for you. Only work within a range that feels comfortable. That's 1 more for me. Oh, ow, I can definitely feel that already. Awesome. Right, that's the first 2 exercises. So we're going to do each of those 2 more times. Remembering to have a rest in between our supersets. So just in case you're new and you haven't watched any of these videos before, a superset is 2 exercises performed back to back and then a rest at the end. So you can create a superset with any exercises. You can also create triceps and giant sets. So something set is just all those exercises done, and then you rest at the end of them. Of course, between exercises, there's always a little bit of rest as you transition from one to the other, but that's absolutely fine. No one's bothering about that. All right. But now we know those exercises, that transition will be a little bit quicker. Back to floor press, anywhere between 8 and 12. I'm going to go 12 because these are feeling quite nice today. I'm going to get my elbows set at the angle that I want them to. Push my shoulder blades underneath, creating an arch in the lower back. And pushing up over the chest, controlling down as slow as I can and pushing smoothly away. Trying to keep the knuckles and where a ring would sit on your finger facing up. And just kissing the floor. This is 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go 2 more. Lovely, really control this down. I can really feel my triceps from that other exercise. And we're going straight into that exercise. I think my dumbbells will be okay there. Starting off in a plank, pushing back to downward dog, anywhere between 6 and 8 of these. Elbows lowered down and up again. Pushing that bum in the air, letting the chest tip forward with the elbows. Trying to get those elbows nice and narrow and tight into the body. One more. Those are tough. So I actually noticed then that I lost a bit of range on that second set because my triceps are now feeling it. And that's something that happens as well, just automatically as the body senses that the muscle is getting fatigued, it will reduce range all by itself because our body is clever and it will do absolutely anything to protect us without us even asking it to, which is really cool. Okay, one more round of that. Just a few more seconds rest. And then on to our second superset, where we've got a lovely little fly and a push-up variation to play with. So here we go, down on the mat. And grabbing those dumbbells, rolling back, shoulder blades underneath, set the elbows at the angle that you want them, and then pushing up over the chest, control it down. Going anywhere between 8 and 12. That's halfway for me. Imagine that the chest is coming up to meet those dumbbells, and that will just help you slide those shoulder blades underneath even more. 3 left. 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Roll yourself up. Twitch yourself round. Elbow lowers into the mat in a downward dog position. Plank, downward dog. Feel the stretch in those hamstrings, up on the tippy toes. Hands are sort of out in front, pushing through the mat. Bend the elbows down towards the mat and then straighten them up. Anywhere between 6 and 8, spending a couple of seconds. At the bottom, I'm going to go 2 more. those are beastly. Beastly, but in a good way. Okay. Just going to set my heavier dumbbells aside because I can't do flies with that weight. I could do with something a bit heavier than these, but these are all I've got. So that's what I'm going to go with. So we're going to be in the same position on the floor, on the mat. Dumbbells start together with palms facing each other, and we're going to bring them out really wide so that the back of the hands touch the floor. And then as we come up, we're going straight into a passover over the head and back up. So we've got a little combination, and we're going to move through that super slow. So we're only going to go for about 10 of each, but we're going to move super, super slow. And then we've got an eccentric push-up after that. So holding them together, really open out the chest. Don't let gravity do all the work on the way out. Bring them back above the chest, straight over the head once they're together, and back up. Keep that breathing nice and continuous. Just kiss the hands on the floor. Kiss the dumbbells overhead on the floor here. So not taking any tension out of anything by resting it on the floor. Really letting that weight stretch those arms overhead. And again, if you had a bench to lie on or an exercise step, you could slightly increase the range of movement in this, which would give you more of a stretch. And I go 2 more. Opening it out. Nice and slow. Especially on those lowers. Last little bit. There we go. Dumbbells down to one side. Straight over on the mat. We've got an eccentric push-up. We're just going to go for the standard push-up position. Hands sort of in line with the front of the shoulder. Everything's stacked, and we're just going to focus on that lowering phase, going as slow as possible. 6 all together. And what I want you to do is, once you're all set up, make sure again though everything's stacked, shoulders, elbows and wrists. Come into whichever push-up variation you're going to use, whether that's knees under the hips, knees out, or in a full push-up position, whichever one you choose. I want you to really expand the back, a bit like when you do cat-cows and you push the mat away and you round the upper back. I want you to try and keep that upper back as rounded as possible, even as you're lowering down, because all that initiates this movement is the elbow bending, and the chest just naturally comes forward. So we're going to try and push the floor away as we bend the elbow. Doesn't really make sense at first, but if you try, you'll feel it. So expanding through the back and then bending the elbow, letting the chest come forward, look towards the top of the mat, melt in, come up however you want. And a really good cue for this, to stop if you feel like your bum is coming down first, is just leave your bum behind. Leave it in the air. Stick your bum up and just focus on that chest coming forward. Look to the top of the mat. Hips come down last. If you get to a point where you feel like you can't hold it anymore, just drop from there. Hold it for as long as you can. You can even place a cushion here just to support that. I'm going to go 2 more. Elbows are creating an arrow shape with the body. Looking for those V's again. We're not going too wide or too close to the body. Lovely. Right. First round of that superset done. Shake off them wrists if they're feeling it. Mine always do. Feel a bit achy, grab a drink. That's the greatest thing about workout, is just getting that extra bit of water in as you're doing it. So we're going back to those flies, opening up the chest and then bringing them straight overhead, moving super slowly, especially on those lowering phases. Just realised I've got a little mate, little deer sat there. So grab those dumbbells. Again, you can just do this with your arms. Don't let lack of equipment stop you from just moving your body and trying to feel everything that's going on. Kissing the ground. Back of the hands touching down. Lovely, that's 6, going to go 4 more. I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, sorry, excuse me. That was weird. That felt very odd. 3 left, nice and slow. Keep those palms facing up, bring them together. That's one. And down, awesome stuff. Flipping straight round into that eccentric push-up. I've just realised I don't have the lights on in here, so apologies if it seems a bit dark. I'm just going to rectify that now. Although it's just very dull outside. There isn't much sun, it's very grey, so I'm not getting much light through the lovely skylight that we've got in here. Sorry about that. So straight onto the mat, going for those eccentrics. Now, these are incredibly tough, especially if you're controlling that slowly through a large range of motion. So if you need to swap out onto the knees, then do that. Or if you need to reduce the amount that you're doing or take a longer break in between reps, do what feels good, do whatever is within your body's limits for today. Make sure it works for you. I think I'm going to go 3 full, and then I'm going to go to the knees. My triceps are absolutely shouting at me from those tricep lowers. Here we go, nice and slow, expanding the upper back, leave the bum behind. Come up however you want, reset. Last one for me. And before I go on the knees. And relax. Shake off those arms. One more round of that. And then we're on to our last superset, which we're just going to do 2 rounds of, which is going to be pretty challenging. Grab yourselves a quick drink. I think it's just sometimes so nice to focus on one specific body part, because especially if you tend to find that your legs are slower to recover. I find that especially my hamstrings, they get very angry at me if I work them. Sometimes they just need a few more days, but then you still want to move, still want to do something. So it's good to have some upper body only or body part specific workouts to choose from for when those occasions arise. Back into our fly to pass over, moving nice and slow. Keep that breathing nice and continuous. I actually find this one very relaxing, just feeling the shoulder open up and then move backwards is quite a nice feeling for today. I didn't get much sleep last night, so it's nice to just move slowly with some weights as a focus instead of sort of just chucking yourself about stood up. 3 more after this one. At least I won't be shaky. I get really shaky after I've done shoulders, but chest I feel okay with usually. Last one. Nice and slow, open it nice and wide at shoulder level. Kissing the ground, outstretched arms, elbows by ears, bringing it back in. Onto those eccentric push-ups. I'm going to go straight from the knees because I just want to save some energy in the tank for the last push-up variation that we're going to do. So again, trying to expand the back, take the eyes to the top of your mat. Don't look straight down. Don't look at the feet. And just focus on bringing that chest in a nice straight line down to the floor. Still leave the hips behind when you do this on the knees. So think, stick the bum in the air. And one more. Oh, if anybody ever feels like their knees are really uncomfortable, a really good tip is just double your mat over. That's a really good tip that I like a lot. That I just remembered as my knees started to get a little bit achy on this floor. Perfect. Right. We are nearly there, guys. Last superset. We need our dumbbells again. It's a standing exercise. And then we have a push-up variation, which is on the floor. Again, might need to be on the knees for me, but we'll see how we get on. We're going to take the dumbbell, and it's a bit like when we do a front raise, which is a shoulder exercise, but the palm is going to face up, and we're coming across the body, and we're going to alternate arms. Again, I could probably do with a couple of kg more, but I'm just going to move nice and slow. Focus on holding that position at the top a little bit. And I can really feel this in my upper chest, which I'm very aware of after everything else that we've done. So we're going to go for anywhere between 8 and 10 on each arm. So here we go. Bring it across, lower it down nice and slowly. And think about this angle here. It's the bicep is really close to the body. So I'm not sort of out here. I'm bringing it right across. Hold, nice and slow on the way down. Still challenging even with the lighter dumbbells. I'm going to go 2 more each side. We're just doing 2 rounds of this superset, but you are more than welcome to do as many rounds as you like. Excellent. Right. We are going to throw a little tantrum at the bottom of our push-up. So it's almost a bit like the tap out squat where we take a leg out and in. We're going to do that with our hands, but in the push-up position. So I will demonstrate on the knees. So we're going to come down, and at the bottom, we're going to take a hand out and in, and then push it back up. So it might require you to take some range out of it. That will definitely happen to me. So I won't be coming as close to the mat as I can in other variations. And we're going to go for anywhere between 4 and 6 on each side. I think I'm going to stick with 4, and I am going to try and do them in a full push-up position. So I'm going to go down, move my hand, back up, other side. See how much range I've lost. My body knowing that it's got to move that hand and get back up again. That's absolutely fine. That's what it's all about. Chest tips forward, hand out and in and up. Super tough. I'm going to go 2 on the knees now, just to get a bit more range. Cool. Those are tough. So in terms of scaling options, you don't even have to lower. Even if you're just here and you focus on just moving that hand in and out, still working this sequence, still developing the skill. Choose which option feels right for you. But yeah, that is tough. Cool. One more round to go. We are nearly there. Back to our across the body front raisers with palms facing up. Here we go. Just giving it a little hold, bringing it down nice and slow. Keep that breathing nice and consistent. Trying to keep the shoulders as square on forward as possible. So we don't want to twist too much. Nothing bad would happen if we twisted. It's just I would then be working muscles that I'm not actually trying to target today. When I said that I could probably do with a few more kgs, I don't know actually. Especially because exercise order is key. So the exercises you do towards the end of your workout are always going to feel harder and maybe less efficient than at the beginning because you're running out of energy, muscles are getting fatigued. That's why we tend to save accessory movements for the end of a workout and choose lighter weights. I'm going to go 2 more each arm. Little hold. Really squeezing the top of the chest in that position. All done. Right, back to those push-ups. The tantrum push-up. I'm going to start on the knees and see how I feel because my chest is knackered. Okay. Anywhere between 4 and 6 on each arm, or less or more. I'm just going to double this over. Knees are feeling it a little bit now as well. Oh, geez. I think I'm just going to go 1 more each side. Taking lots of range out of it. because my body is telling me that it's done with this. Oh, incredible. Wow. If you got through that with me, well done. I'm standing like this because the sofa is in the way. But yeah, if you got that through that with me, well done. That was mega. I feel pretty incredible now. Started off feeling really tired and not really into it, but now feeling loads better. So thanks if you joined me. Any questions about any of the exercises, let me know. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Bye.